Neville to be the guy at the post, get his post touches, and then kick it back out for the open shot.
Yeah. He really tries to use Neville similar to the way they treated Akeem Olajuwon.
And Durcha knocks it down for two. Well, Boylan knows about big men. Coaching Olajuwon, also coached Yao Ming when he first arrived in the United States. Here is Terry with Johnny Bryant on him. Terry is doubled. Shaw left open. Terry traveled. Tried to draw the foul on Bryant, but the turnover and the ball back to the Utes.
Both of these coaches have a great deal of NBA experience, and the similarities are very strong indeed. The foundation of their attack on the defensive end is man-to-man, contesting shots, keeping the ball on one side of the court offensively. A ton of NBA sets. They target mismatches, and they really do an outstanding job of having their players space out the court. It creates a lot of gaps and seams.
Tyler Koepke in the ball game now. It's Durcha in the corner. Now Green underneath. Here's Neville. And the shot blocked by Rougeau. Rene Rougeau got a piece of it. Bullet pass to Bailey for two. 11-4 UNLV, and the helper again for Curtis Terry.
The 70 is the magic number for the running Rebels. If they get above that, they will win this game, Tim.
Sean Green to Durcha, ball tipped, and Bryant recovers. Three ball on the way. It is no throw. That ball did everything but go in. Underneath, Rougeau, two more. And Boylan wants a timeout again. Just about 7 minutes gone by in the first half, and the running Rebels lead by 9, 13-4. The last two times down the floor, the Rebels were undefended underneath.
This counts as a transition point, and it's probably the staple of what they do offensively. Remember, their half-court offense is okay. It's not great, but they're going to score between 20 and 25 points in transition. They're going to make a lot of three-pointers, usually about 24 points per game from beyond the arc. If they're able to do those two things, it takes a ton of pressure off their sometimes anemic half-court offense.
Well, the Rebels and the Utes, been a good rivalry. The Utes defeated UNLV the last time they played on the 6th of February in Salt Lake City at the John M. Huntsman Center. It was an 81-73 win for the Utes that night. This series is pretty even at 19-18 in favor of Utah. We'll flash back and show you some of that last meeting in just a little bit here as Utah tries to get back on the board, and Neville can't connect. Rougeau again, another rebound. Wink Adams rising, and Koepke the rebound. Koepke was the top scorer in all of junior college before coming to the Utes.
He's really changed his game, become a much more unselfish player. I always feel like UNLV is 10 points better when they play in this building.
Tilly long on the jumper. Wink Adams got a hand in there. And Johnny Bryant saves it for the running Utes.
They have won 20 straight in this building.
Here comes Neville again, and right over the top of Rougeau that time.
Wow. Statement. Forget all of that little finesse stuff. Just bring the power.
That's what they've been waiting to see more often out of Luke Neville. They want to see an angry streak in him, and they want him to play mad. Matt Shaw, another three ball. That's two for Shaw, and it's a 10-point lead.
Well, you know, in the NBA, teams take Shaq and Yao Ming and really big guys and pick and roll them to death. That is clearly a big part of UNLV's game plan.
Dercha kicks it out. Bryant wide open. 3-ball for Johnny Bryant.
I called him the best shooter in this conference, Tim. There's a lot of really high caliber, deep threats, but he's my choice. Do you have a favorite?
Well, he shoots pretty well. 46%. It's hard to have another favorite three-point shooter when he's making them almost half the time. Wink Adams cut off, and Terry is there. Wink Adams needs 7 more points to reach number 15 on the all-time scoring list at UNLV. And he's only a junior. Terry, long one. And a foul underneath. And the foul will bring us to break. 16-9 is the score. 10.5 minutes to go in the first half. It's raining threes from Matt Shaw in Vegas. 16-9, UNLV with the lead. 10.5 minutes to go in the first half of play. The 6th of February, these two teams met at the Huntsman Center, and it was a big, big night for Johnny Bryant, Luke Neville, and the Utes as they would come away with an 81-73 victory. Bryant 7 of 7 from three-point land, 26 points, and Luke Neville 11 out of 14 from the field. He also would finish with a season-high 26 points. Jim Boylan happy with the results of that one. Can they repeat it again today? They're going to have to come back a little bit as they find themselves down by 7.
Now, Johnny Bryant is one of the key players. If you contain he and Wink Adams, they are the go-to guys for both of these squads. I thought that was one of the most complete games by the Utes all year at both ends of the court.
Rene Rougeau driving, blocked by Luke Neville, the 46th block of the season. That's the most the Utes have had by a player since Andrew Bogut had 65 in the 2004-2005 season. Steal by Rougeau. Bailey ahead of the pack. 18-9.
Lon Kruger absolutely loves the speed game. The faster, the better. Why? In a slow game, it exposes the fact that they don't have much size.
Rougeau in the right place to start this one.
Luke Neville is, in a fast game like this, not going to be a factor. And running the court is such a huge advantage because why? You're getting layups, you're building your confidence, and then all of a sudden, it takes the pressure off that half-court game.
Luka Dercha hand-checked by Corey Bailey for the foul. That'll be the 3rd team foul on UNLV.
Corey Bailey's had a real nice career, and how special with the expectations last year and this year. If they can go to 2 straight NCAA tournaments, it really speaks volumes of the job that he and Terry have done.
Tilly dumps it underneath to Luke Neville, and Neville now with 4 points. They've gone big with the lineup, Tim, with Kim Tilly in there at 6'9", and Neville was 6'1". 7'1", beg your pardon.
I was going to say, he was 6'1" when he was 8 years old.
He was. His twin brother's only 6'6", you know. He's the shorter of the two.
The quick and nimble.
Mo Rutledge in the game for UNLV. The bounce pass to Rougeau. Rutledge, a junior from Sacramento, California. Terry dribbling around the screen. The blind pass to Rutledge, who wasn't ready for it. Good idea, but it didn't work out.
Yeah. Tim, UNLV is really solid this year. Make for me the case that the Mountain West gets 3 teams into the NCAA.
Well, I think New Mexico, with a win today over Colorado State, would certainly put a stamp on their case. UNLV would have to win today to really put a stamp on their case. As Green misses, foul is going to be called on Neville as he was dragging Joe Dargo. BYU is definitely in. And again, the winner of the tournament, and it could be any one of those 3 teams. And don't count out a very athletic San Diego State team.
Yep.
First foul on Neville.
One thing that's important for UNLV, they cannot afford to get beat this last week by New Mexico, and also again in the Mountain West tournament.
Darger wide open. And Rutledge called for the push-off foul.
I believe